6 days ago, my van broke down and I had to bring it to the junkyard for good. Yesterday, I made a huge decision that's going to impact my life for the better. Hey guys, and welcome back. Today I'm just going to be going over my last week and the events that have happened with my van and what I'm doing to change this. On Monday last week, my van broke down on the highway near Vancouver, like 3 hours away. Very twisty, turny, mountainous highway that my old van apparently could not handle. I was driving back from Kelowna to Vancouver, and in the middle of the drive, my transmission went. I was getting absolutely no power. It went down to 20 kilometers an hour, and I wasn't getting any gear changes. You could hear the revving of the engine, and I could feel how much power was being put into the engine without the gears being able to change. I pulled over on the side of the road and I knew it was a very serious breakdown and quite possibly my last breakdown in the van. I just had this feeling in my stomach that it was the last time that I was going to be able to drive the car. I called CAA and they were able to tow me the rest of the way to Vancouver. It was about 3 hours. And unfortunately with my coverage with CAA, they can only tow me a certain amount of kilometers. So it ended up costing me around $200 to get it towed the rest of the way. I'm just happy I made it to Vancouver because me and my best friend had an Airbnb for 4 nights in Vancouver, which was actually a saving grace. I towed the van to the Airbnb and I had to come up with a plan. I thought maybe I could sell it as is, but because it was an out-of-province vehicle, I had to get an inspection done and the van needed to pass the inspection. Basically, I would have to get an inspection done, get the transmission fixed, and then anything else that might come up in the inspection fixed in order for it to be sold as is in British Columbia because it's an Ontario vehicle. It's a 2005. So it is a very old vehicle and it had 320,000 kilometers on it. It wasn't in the best shape, and because of how old it was and the seriousness of the issue and the amount of admin that would have to go into fixing the vehicle, like getting the inspection done at a correct place, waiting for the inspection to come through, having to fix everything that's wrong with it that I know is going to be the transmission plus anything else that comes up. And then I would have to still wait, try to sell it as is, and then hopefully it sells and then try to find a new vehicle. It was a lot of moving parts, so in the end I just decided it was worth it for me to scrap the vehicle. I was taking a huge loss because I was obviously losing the worth of the vehicle, but for me it just made more sense to not have to go through all of the moving parts having to get it fixed and then resell it. So I did lose a lot of money choosing to do that, but I gained a lot of time because I was able to scrap it really quickly and make a decision on how I wanted to move forward. Shout out to my best friend Rachel for putting up with me for the last week because it was her days off from work and I was just having a crisis for the entire time we were together. It was just nice having somebody there that was able to support me and give me positive feedback and reassurance. I really needed it. I know times like this you really need to lean on your friends, and that was really nice. And yesterday I got the keys to my brand new van. For 5 years I have wanted nothing but a van I could stand in and explore in and feel safe in and secure and trust, and I am sitting in my 2020 Ford Transit, medium roof, medium wheelbase. It has 77,000 kilometers and it has a 2-year factory warranty, which means anything that happens to the shit under the hood is covered for 2 years. I honestly still can't believe it. I picked it up yesterday. I have never been so excited in my life. This is a huge investment for me. I had to pull a lot of strings to get my finances in order to even be able to consider being able to afford something like this. This is easily the biggest purchase I've ever made in my entire life. I was able to go in and buy it outright so I don't have any payments. I've wanted this for so long, and this van is completely mine. I have had a complete identity crisis in the last week. I have actually had one of the most stressful weeks of my entire life, being completely stranded in a city that I do not live, with no car. I had to live out of a hostel for a couple days, and I'm just so thrilled that I have all of my stuff here. I was able to pick it up from the storage unit. The guy from the storage unit, since I was only there for 4 days, he gave me a complete refund. He was so sweet, and I feel really lucky. It was a really, really stressful week, and I'm sad to see my van go, but I'm so excited for this next chapter and everything that this van is gonna bring me in the future. And I just have one question. Are you ready for another van build series? Because we have one coming.